Hello and welcome to Echochamber, my generally unscripted series where I talk about whatever, whenever, however I want. And no one can do anything about it because it's my Echochamber. Today I'm going to be talking about Pokémon Sun and Moon. I can't let's play it, but I can definitely talk about it. Now, I was originally going to come into this basically to talk about my first impressions, but then I kinda sorta just went and beat the game. Sorry. It happens. I know I'm quick, but sometimes you can just be quick and be happy about it. Sometimes. But ultimately, Pokémon Sun and Moon feels like a game that I've been waiting for in this franchise for a long time. I've really enjoyed the Black and White games just because they felt like a refreshing take on Pokémon because they actually tried to give a good story, but other than that, they still felt really much like Pokémon. X and Y felt like they dialed back the story part, and it was once again another cookie-cutter output that was more concerned about increasing and improving on the general mechanics of the series rather than trying to take a step forward. Pokémon Sun and Moon does have much of that traditional gameplay to it, but it also makes a whole lot of steps forward. It has massive UI upgrades to make it much more functional, both the overworld and in battles. And there is a significant challenge shift from basically what you know to how you're strategizing on the fly. Mind you, the EXP share from the last gen is still there, and I just decided to train up 12, which I'm kind of regretting now that I've got into post-game, because my Pokemon aren't as high as level as they probably should be for this part. It was actually good enough up until the very last Kahuna battle that I was able to actually keep people at the same levels as my opponents. I gained 12 over time, and I got my 12th one on the 4th island, so it's not like I had 12 the entire time either. But the same way, it took a long time for the game really to start getting beyond where I could at 12. But at that point, they really started just get ahead of me. But it's hard to complain, because this game really feels like it's made for a challenge. The routes are shorter, and they feel more natural, and the AI is massively improved. There are definitely a lot less battles, which really helps with the EXP share part of it, but at the same time, these battles are longer, the AI is better, these are more challenging. I mean, the Totem Pokemon can be some of the most challenging battles I've seen in this. I mean, some of the battles are just like, even though I've played this since the first gen, I've lost to these different Pokemon. And mind you, I'm playing on Set 2, not Switch. If you want a challenge, don't play on Switch. In general, this increase to the AI, this much better AI that's actually like using some competitive strategies, it's actually using some methods that are just, they actually put you on the rope sometimes. It's so much more compelling from a Pokemon story, and it's so much more fun because of that. And speaking of the story is so much better than X and Y. Like I said before, Black and White were really my hallmarks for what a Pokemon story should be, could be, and X and Y were a bit of a step back. Now this outing, Sun and Moon, it's cinematic, and it has a real personal story to it. It's a character-driven one, instead of just, the world's in danger because of the legendaries sort of story. Combine the storytelling mechanisms of actually sort of a cinematic thing, like the little expressions, the little bit of just flair there to actually make you more involved, more engrossed in the story, then even the fact that some of the Pokemon in your face sort of, yeah, this is that sort of stuff still being there, it feels so much better, so much more engrossing, the characters feel more dynamic, and the world around it all just screams so much more personality because you can express so much more. And based on where I am, it really feels like what a Pokemon plot could be, and it's up there with Black and White. I'm not sure it's quite there with Black and White, but the storytelling mechanisms themselves really probably put it above Black and White, even if the plot itself doesn't quite reach there. This feels like a new game over, say, just another evolution of Pokemon into a new generation. Everything's different. Route design, UI design, graphic design, battle design, storytelling. Well, not everything. It still feels distinctly Pokemon, but it feels like even at everything at its core, stuff like fishing's different, stuff like surfing's different, HMs are gone, stuff like that, feels at its core, it's still Pokemon, but at the fundamental level, they sort of redesigned what Pokemon could be. It feels really engaging, and it feels like such a breath of fresh air. And if anyone ever just got burnt out on Pokemon and just felt like it was the same thing over and over again, this is the perfect opportunity to come back in, because it feels like something new, and I love that about this game. Again, I typically do more elaborate reviews, more scripted reviews, and this is sort of just me rambling off my mind. I'll have more thoughts in a proper review later, but I'd say that this really has to settle my mind. I still have the post-game to go before I can do that review, but Story-wise, it's really up there. I think it's one of the best Pokemon has done by far. And the improvements to the gameplay feels like the best update to the series yet. The new ideas and reimagining of the Pokemon formula in spades. And honestly, I love this. And maybe it's a little bit of the Pokemon nostalgia. I have been playing this since first gen. Maybe it's a little bit just because I wanted Pokemon to move in certain directions. Last gen was severely disappointing to me in that respect. I still enjoyed it. I enjoy all of them, but it was disappointing. And they're really going in a direction that I feel evolves what Pokemon can be. And it makes me so much more excited for what it could be in the future, even after this. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope I continue to enjoy it. I hope everyone enjoys it. And I'll see you when I've got through post-game stuff and I've basically written the review, which will probably be in a few weeks or however long that ends up taking me. I have no idea. Sometimes it takes me a while. It is a low priority thing for me, unfortunately, just because this is a hobby. But other than that, I'll see you all next time. Drive safely, everyone.